pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosing lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the streets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes, get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the fuck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo time to...
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Artie from Artie's Corporate Fiction here with a very special guest this evening. This is something that had kind of fallen into my lap, and I was like, I can't not talk about it. So I have with me Don Carpenter, also known as Rogue Journalist, out of Pennsylvania, and a viewer of mine led me to the individual in question. He in turn led me to Mr. Carpenter, who apparently has been following the escapades of our main event. As soon as we get started, I just got a Discord. By the way, I just got a Discord update from him. He just uploaded a new TikTok, so we might get to see what he says there. But I will let you introduce yourself, and then we can go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. Austin Ayers is a individual and case that kind of fell on my lap right in the beginning of COVID. I'm sure we'll get into a lot of it, but he had basically at the time was running a fake news website, which was a clicks for cash scam. It was like loaded with diarrhea of Google ads that would like generate him revenue. And what he basically had done was made up a COVID outbreak in Pittsburgh weeks before COVID actually started affecting Western Pennsylvania. And the gist of the claim was no one would he mentioned all local media outlets by name, and no one would talk to them because his site was more exclusive and blah, blah, blah. The way he wrote it late at night in the hopes that it would go viral during the morning drive time. And it came across my desk at like 5 a.m. And then working with local Pittsburgh media and UPMC Hospital, we were able to get out to the public by 8 a.m. that this was a fake story and this person is a known fraud.
So I'm actually surprised. I always thought those click ad heavy websites went out of style like in 2005 and 2006, where you just blasted your GeoCities with Amazon ads and hope for the best. But apparently they're still alive and well on Facebook.
Facebook, well, it was actual websites.
Oh.
And then he had it was 19 different Facebook pages with paid followers and stuff. So he'd basically plant an article on one, generate, blast that to 10 or 12,000 paid followers, take that page and then share it from his other fake news webpage. And it was just ridiculous. And I basically contacted him that day, told him to knock it off, because independent media here in Pittsburgh was something myself and people far better than myself worked for years to become a legitimate source of news here in Pittsburgh. And this kid hiding behind that in the hopes of scamming people for clicks and clout, which is unacceptable.
So I know that this guy has a very colorful backstory, but I think we can kind of focus on the main reason why we're here, in that based on what I was reading from you and what I read from your previous posts, is that this guy apparently has had a history of playing the role of a first responder. I say first responder, not police, because he seems to be doing both EMT and police, or seems to kind of mix and match between the two. So can you give me a backstory as to why he thinks or why he wants to present himself as such?
I don't know his motivation for it. It could be he never got the attention and notoriety from his actual own life and his life endeavors.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, is it true that he went through some kind of training at some point?
Yeah, he actually was a volunteer firefighter for, I think, a couple fire departments further up north in Pennsylvania, but he was promptly dismissed because he either had mental issues. He would try to film at fire scenes when he should have been helping people for a TV show he was producing, and I think he did take some school credits for paramedic to learn paramedics, and he got like a certificate of completion from that course. But
Right.
he has no actual credentials as a fire police officer, which he's claimed to be, a paramedic, an actual firefighter, and fire police officer, which is something that I think existed at one time in Pennsylvania, but does not exist anymore.
Right. I remember looking at one of your old stories, and and we might be able to take a look at them later on. But I did remember seeing that either you or he posted photos of his, education credits, like supposed certifications, etc., as proof positive that he, is an EMT or was an actual, EMT at some point. However, you make the argument that he maybe attended classes, but he's never been actually certified. Is that what your understanding is?
That's correct. He is not legitimate in the eyes of the state of Pennsylvania or any state in this country. It's basically anybody can go to college. Anybody can take these courses. I do a website for the Pittsburgh Citizen Police Review Board, which is funded by Allegheny County, and part of that training, I had to go to what is called the Pittsburgh Police Citizen Academy, which you go through the courses, you take some training and stuff, and you get a certificate that you completed the course. It doesn't mean I'm a cop. It doesn't mean I have any authority in the case. It just means I took a course. That's
right.
It.
Gotcha. So let's go get down to brass tacks, which is what happened in June of 2020. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share. One second.
I got it.
I see you try that on me, Scott. It's not working tonight. All right. I see what y'all are doing to me. I have jump scares turned on, and I wasn't going to get played by them on that one. Thank God you didn't hear it, or else you'd probably just leave me at this point. Anyway, as I was saying, I was going to present this window, which is the first. I have all 3 pages, but it's the first page of the search warrant. I'm gonna put this for the. Oh, good. I just got a tornado warning alert, guys. That's good. Give me 1 second while I check what's outside and see what's going on real quick. 1 second.
No problem.
But actually, go ahead and tell them about the search warrant, and I'm gonna pin this so everybody can see it on the screen while I make sure I'm not gonna die.
So basically, while he was running these fake news websites and pretending to be a journalist and a storm chaser, he also would buy police vehicles, like unmarked. You can buy like the Challenger cars or whatever the hell they are. And what he would do previously in the past in his teenage years, which he's only 21 now. So what he did was he bought a SUV, put on his own emergency lights, the blueberry and cherry lights up top and inside the vehicle. He created a fake EMS company called West Central EMS, and he would cruise around town, stopping kids to interrogate them, and show up at first responder scenes. He showed up at some protest actions across the city, and the search warrant what you're looking at here is there was an incident in, I believe it was Butler or Katanning, Pennsylvania. There was a serial impersonator pulling vehicles over, and the young lady in this particular incident was pulled over. She only described the vehicle because as he allegedly approached the vehicle, he blinded her with a flashlight and was asking her why she didn't pull over where he wanted her to pull over.
Yeah.
She filed a report with the local police. They started investigating him, and they were already looking at him for some other things. And what they basically did was, what led to this search warrant was the young lady's testimony and Austin Ayers' TikTok, which I don't remember what name it was. That
Nursing Austin. I have the next page of the probable cause warrant. A TikTok account with the name at Nursing Austin was found with the same Ford Explorer bearing decals of, quote, West Central Emergency Rescue Services, end quote, on it, and a light bar. There you go.
Yeah. So basically all over TikTok, this kid was showing signs of him running red lights, stuff like that. He had his bedroom set up to look like a 911 call center, and through his TikTok would show his viewers that he was on duty at the 911 center, dispatching calls and things of that nature. So, and I believe what led up to the search warrant also is his neighbors were complaining because he was flying drones over their property, taking pictures of their children. And he was also like stopping children on the street and interrogating them like a police officer would, and then letting them go. So basically he got raided by the Pennsylvania State Police.
And we do have we do have those photos that we have there of here. It's small, but you know what? It's enough here. Just real quick for you guys. Here is a photo of the vehicle in question, and then the next photo is, let me see here, of the police seizing control. Right there. So apparently you said that he eventually got it back, right?
Yeah.
But then was hemmed up again later on.
Yeah, it was basically impounded. They ripped off the light bars. They took off the emergency decals. Basically, took anything and everything away that would identify this vehicle as a emergency services vehicle. And what led to the criminal charges, which I'm sure you'll get into in a little bit, was he had fraudulently applied for a emergency license plate, basically identifying this vehicle as a registered Pennsylvania first responder vehicle, which you can file the paperwork up. You or I could do it. We could get the license plate, but once they realize you're not illegitimate, they're going to take it. So in the process of impounding this vehicle, they seized that license plate, terminated the application that he had fraudulently filed, and then gave him everything back. In which shortly after he got the vehicle back, he was pulled over again by, I believe, was Butler or Katanning police for driving with no working lights and no license plate, because the license plate was seized by Pennsylvania State Police.
Mm-hmm.
So they still have the license plate or something to that effect, because how it goes is they impounded the vehicle, and then the charges they filed in June for the perjury, false witness, tampering with public records and all that, impersonation. They had stated that they asked him about the license plate because the day after they seized it, he went back into the Department of Motor Vehicles and applied for a new one, saying that it was stolen, and had his friend Ryan Folk, Lego Flats, who's another gamer friend of his, sign on as a witness that the plate was stolen. And then that gentleman actually caught charges as well.
Yeah, I noticed that he had 2 charges of making a false application for title registration. I have the first one up here, which is, as you mentioned, making a false application for title, tampering with a public record, and making a false statement under penalty. And so those are just the initial charges. Later on, let me see here. Let me see if I got this one right. Yep, this is the second one, I think. Either the first or the second one. Because there's another false application and false and perjury. Yep, that's the one. That's 2. And then here is the third, the big one, which they filed the complaint. It looks like the complaint date was March 3rd. So it sounds like they issued formal charges, I guess, resulting from the search warrant. I guess, and all the footage that they found and everything that they found from the search warrant is theft by unlawful taking of movable property, theft by failure to make required disposition of funds, and 2 counts of impersonating a public servant, careless driving, reckless driving, and improper lights.
Yep.
Let me get that up there. Up there for you guys. Sorry about that. So he was made these charges in there, and so he obviously is trying to maintain his innocence, and we're going to get to his claims in a bit. But as I mentioned, these were ultimately as a result of what the police found in the search warrant.
Correct. And this is a culmination of years since he was 18 years old of fucking around and not finding out the consequences. There's countless Facebook pages in his hometown of Butler dedicated to how much of a fraud this kid is. In his hometown of Katanning, they all know how much of a joke he is, and there's websites aside from my own that are dedicated to exposing him as a fraud and just a liar. It's just wild. I do a lot of journalism, and my bag is like exposing scumbags a lot, but this particular case was the easiest to find the internet breadcrumbs of this kid's just decade of destruction and lies.
Right. So now we're going to get to the interesting stuff. Well, I mean, this is all pretty interesting, but the other half of this narrative. So I know that you mentioned that he has a 911 setup, like a call center, but I guess he's using it as part of his Grand Theft Auto online role-playing community, right? So let me get the window up here. This is his website. You guys can see badassrp.com. It's the website's actually only half finished. Like most of the links are just generic stuff. But this guy, basically, you can apply for a specific Grand Theft Auto server, GTA Online server, and you can literally apply. You have to go to their Discord and have an interview and everything, and apply to become a fire department, towing, EMT, law enforcement, and everything in between. And what makes it even better is he has these role-playing, it has a role-playing server, and apparently he decided he wanted to do it in real life. But what I do want to showcase is some of his TikToks where he advertises his, he advertises himself. Is this yes, I guess that's the newest one. But I'm going to play this. I can't play the music because it's copyrighted, because of course it is. But, you see this, and if you guys can, I know you guys probably can't see it. The screen is too small. But if you zoom in, you'll find that he downloaded a mod for Grand Theft Auto Online that replaced the police uniform and patch to be the Pennsylvania State Police right here. He also has a mod for the EMT services, so it looks like it's something out of Allegheny County. Like it has Allegheny on the side of the vehicle. So this guy really, really wants to play the role of policeman / EMT, and yeah, it's generally pretty cringy, but I will point out. Let's go to what one of his TikToks that actually has his defense, and we're gonna actually listen to that because at least there's no music. So give me 1 second here.
And police impersonators tried to disprove a former first responder. I've showed my state certifications I earned through various local colleges. 9 years in public safety and helping people, and this is how I get repaid, by being stalked and harassed. Pennsylvania doesn't have a public certification. Search for Fire Essentials or any other non-pro board certs. Is every firefighter fake in PA? So many first responders got mad and called me a liar because I finished my EMT course but did not take the national registry. This was a personal choice as I don't want to work EMS. I'm a patient hospital care more. I'm not an EMT working on a boo-boo bus stop assuming. It's a shame.
So the first thing we point out here is that he says 9 years right there, 9 years in public safety and helping people. Now, as you know from, and we could go back to the court docket, his date of birth is 1998. This TikTok was a couple of weeks ago, so June 2021 or July 2021. So that would mean that he has been working as a first responder or public safety since he was 14 years old. Yeah, we'll let the audience decide on the truthfulness there. But how do you respond to his claim about the whole there's no national registry or anything like that when it comes to EMTs?
Well, there actually is a national registry for EMTs, and he deleted this TikTok video. This is months ago. After he was first charged, he basically went to legitimize himself with Pennsylvania on their registry. They pulled his charges and said, no, thank you. We don't hire people with that are charged with felonies. And then he was like, okay, did a video with the PA Bureau of EMS, this, that, the other thing. I'm going to take my nationals. The nationals pulled his record, or the state of Pennsylvania talked to them, because I do know that they monitor all of the social media accounts. Mm-hmm. And the National Registry for EMS was basically like, go screw yourself, kid. You're a serial impersonator. So he made a giant video about that, claiming it was a conspiracy, that the state of Pennsylvania, in conjunction with me and everyone that doesn't like him, hacked the PA court system and basically implanted these charges so he couldn't get a job. But in actuality, he can't get a job because he doesn't have the credentials to do the job. He has basic training that anyone can take and get certified in. And that doesn't make us experts in it. I can't go and save someone's life aside from providing CPR, which in that basic EMS course from that community college, I believe it's just basic first aid. And things of that nature. But it goes even deeper than that. Like on his TikTok, and a lot of these videos have been deleted. I saved a couple, and when his trial starts up, it's going to be hilarious what they show. But he would provide things like he would buy a chair like the one you're sitting in behind you when it was catered out to Marvel Studios. And he would be like, "Oh, thanks Marvel Studios for sponsoring me."
Oh my God, no!
So then I freaking go to email Marvel Studios about it, like link them, and they're like, "Yeah, this is a lie." So
no! Okay, I apologize for interrupting you, because I now remember I saw one of his earlier, I think you mentioned one of his earlier TikToks, or I saw another where he's like, "Thanks HyperX for the mic." I was like, oh God! So he thinks he's got that YouTube influencer cred on top of everything else.
Yeah, he probably brags that he has millions of followers and he's famous, when any basic social media auditing thing you can do online to his account, it'll show you, he has 106,000 followers or whatever the hell it is, but it'll break it down for you, how many were paid for, how many are fake accounts, and
he bought
how many
subs.
actually respond. Yeah, man, it's like I've been around for a long time. I think I got less than 3,000 Twitter followers. I'm okay with that, because those are actual legitimate followers that do what I don't need to buy. I don't need to buy my following. You know, it's ridiculous, but it's just highly entertaining. And then on his TikTok too, people will come on and call him out on his stuff, like that clip that you showed. That initially at one point had 30 comments. And it was people calling him out for stealing valor, impersonation, and stuff like that. And he just I think he shut the comments down on it eventually, but like he just deletes the comments. It's like, you're a hater, goodbye. And it's like, I'm not going to tolerate it. Ha ha ha! You make me viral. It's like you don't bother me, but obviously it does because he blocks everybody.
Right.
Oh, that's a good one right there.
I this is also something I stumbled upon. I was actually debating on whether or not I was going to highlight this, but this is also, I feel like this is there's a pattern of this when it comes to certain impersonators where I feel like that I've seen this pattern of behavior before where they would either use their fake personas to ultimately harass women who rejected them. Because I feel like I've read this story before. So can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, I'm not going to say her name. Well, actually,
Right.
Whatever her name is in there. It's Calliope because she did share me all these screenshots. So basically, he was working with a local film crew that was producing Netflix content. Like Pittsburgh's pretty popular for filming right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was just like a production assistant or something like that. He was basically a gopher. Go get this, go get that. So he saw this girl. Her family was catering to the cast and crew on set. And he portrayed himself as an assistant director and just basically started pursuing her. And then, she did say at the time she liked him, but then he just started harassing her because she wasn't like, she was leaving him on red, to kind of telling him, like, hey, you're getting kind of
not interested. Go.
Yeah. And then he initially was like, either you come up to Pittsburgh and we go on a date, or I'm going to destroy your family. So what we see with this article here that I wrote is he basically, on one of his fake news websites, he wrote about her allegedly, which she did not, taking a picture of Jason Momoa that was on set,
right,
and then listed her family's business in there and stuff.
Oh.
And what's ironic is on his old website when he was a film director, quote unquote, he had pictures that he illegally took on set from various film productions in Pittsburgh. There's actually a Pittsburgh film group on Facebook that's dedicated to just talking about how much of a scumbag this guy is. Austin is too. But,
my viewers know all about towns that have entire Facebook groups dedicated to that one asshole of the community. So we're very used to that.
When I first started covering him too, I basically gave him the option of just knocking off his bullshit or going away, or I'd destroy him, and not destroy him like physically beat him up. I was just like, dude, you're all over the internet. I will destroy you with facts. This is my job. So his retaliation was to write fake news articles about me, deflecting his charges of impersonation and stuff against me, saying I was a police impersonator. He made a fake website trying to discredit my work, which was always taken down. And then he would constantly talk about Netflix, which ironically, a case I covered like 8 years ago, they made a documentary that's on Netflix now. So I was able to call up Netflix right away and be like, hey, does this kid really work for you? Is this kid have a deal with you? And they'd be like, no, who the fuck is Austin Ayers? So he just bumbles from one fake identity to the other, and then goes back into them. Which this week he's back to being that badass role play, but like next week he'll try and be a journalist again. Right.
Yeah, I've seen. Like I said, I saw some of his older TikToks where he like kind of showcased, I guess, for potential recruits, like his whole 911 call center setup at his house, and like he really, really wants to play this role. And I feel like apparently Grand Theft Auto Online was just not enough of an outlet for him, and so he decided to do the real thing and ultimately got caught. So he, as I mentioned to you guys before, his next court date is August 16th, I believe, and we shall see where this goes from here. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting one. What caught my eye was the fact that this guy had took his role play from gaming to real life, but it does seem like he had been role playing for a lot longer than he had this role playing server up. But it's very, very interesting to see. I hope it's I also hope it's a Zoom court as well. But you said that you're going to be covering the trial, right?
Yeah. This is it's gonna be a really funny trial. A lot of what you see on my website is going to be brought up in that trial, because I do believe a lot of the people that I've spoken to, they're going to be calling as witnesses just to dedicate the train of how many years he's been impersonating and how it's escalated. And it's also, I want to see him get up on the stand, and every word that's going to come out of his mouth is most likely going to be a lie, and it's just going to be hilarious.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I had put the link in the description, but his website, Don's website, is roguejournalist.org. So definitely check him out if you want to get. I'll be checking it out for more updates. And I would love to have you back on if and when that trial happens, you're able to attend it as well. Because I would love to see the results of this and what happens to this individual. But it's kind of wild, because again, like people were saying in the chat, like, we all, I think most of the internet are far more familiar with Jeremy DeWitt, largely because of his webcam YouTube presence and body cam footage. Do you know whether or not he had himself a body camera or dash cam that he had with him when he was doing his rounds?
When the police seized the vehicle initially, with that search warrant that you showed me, there was a dash cam in there. They haven't discussed anything as to what was on it, because it's an ongoing investigation.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see what they have. I mean, plus his TikTok too, over the last 2 years, has videos of him blowing lights with lights and sirens flashing and things of that nature. So I assume it's all going to come up. I mean, even if he deleted the shit off TikTok, I know the Pennsylvania State Police and other institutions that are investigating him follow his stuff. They download and request his stuff often from TikTok, just because they can build a stronger case with it.
Hey, what's up, Blue Bacon? Blue Bacon is another YouTuber who has been following the Jeremy DeWitt saga very, very intensely. The name of this individual is Austin J. Ayers, out of Pittsburgh. By the way,
Katanning.
Oh, Katanning. Okay, gotcha. My bad. So yeah, that's the individual that we're highlighting. I just thought the angle of him having an RP server on Grand Theft Auto was doubly intriguing. So that we will definitely have to have more updates going along. I'll definitely be keeping in contact with you with this. And I know you said that his old TikToks have examples of him, as you said, running red lights. I know in one of the Facebook pages you that you linked to me beforehand, you uploaded a screenshot of his own Facebook or his own Instagram of him, like, I guess, pretending he's running the night shift.
Yeah, that was a Facebook post he put into it's not a Back to Blue Law Facebook group. I think it was Law Enforcement Today or something like that.
Yeah.
He would share shit like that, and then they would promptly just laugh him out of the group. And then he actually dedicated on one of his fake news sites articles about the admins of that page, of that website, or excuse me, that Facebook group, trying to defame them. And there is one case too of I believe it's a Katanning police officer. She's female. He had harassed her via his fake news websites too.
Of course he did.
For whatever she had pulled him over for. But it's funny because like for every fake news website he had that would get like discredited, he would just basically shut it down for a couple months, like make up a new one, like change the name of it and bring it back, thinking people wouldn't fucking realize it was still him. And then he would also use, there was one time on one of his fake news websites, he made up an entire newsroom team using stock photos from a stock photo website.
Oh my God.
people were able to go back. If you want to look more at that, the Facebook group dedicated to his fake news page is Stop Fake News Butler or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's completely dedicated to that. And it's wild. It's wild the shit this kid's pulled over the years. But hopefully now that there's consequences for his actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's either going to get the mental help he obviously needs, do some time, or it's going to escalate to the point where he ends up getting himself killed or killing somebody else.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's definitely an interesting dynamic dealing with just impersonators in general. Like they're an entire psychology like discussion on their own. But I wish I could go on even more, but in the interest of personal safety, I'm probably going to have to end this this discussion here a little bit early. The tornado warning may have passed, but there is still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and it may turn back into a tornado issue. So I'm going to shut everything down, make sure I got my cats taken care of, and we're just going to hunker down. So I want to thank you very much, Don, for coming on to talk with me about this. I cannot wait to hear more about it. I will definitely be keeping in touch for sure. And yeah, dude, guys, again, his website is roguejournalist.org. Links are in the description, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, guys.
Thanks for having me, guys. All right, buddy.
Yep. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'll keep you updated.
Yep. All right, guys. Yeah, for real. I gotta go. I gotta go. All right. I gotta shut things down. But yeah, I wish we could have talked more, but it's getting pretty nasty out there. So, adios. I'm gonna get the cats. See ya.